What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's the JD CeeLo podcast coming at you once again. And we're going to switch it up today. We got a little bit of NBA to talk about. Woo! Absolutely.
Watch your mouth.
A lot to digest and a lot to get out when it comes to my New York Knicks and the state of the NBA, the way it is, the way it's looking right now. It's an embarrassment. But anyways, guys, before we start, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and share this content with anybody that you know out there on your social media platforms, anywhere you go. We'd love to have more and more people just joining us so that we can give them a piece of what we like to do.
Yeah.
All right. So that way we can be welcome in everybody's homes, and we could be you can watch us while you're eating dinner, your breakfast, whatever it is. But that's what we're doing. But let's get into this NBA talk because it's a sad state of affairs. That's what it is.
Well, sir, there is a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
We'll start with the New York teams. We'll discuss the trades that went down.
Do we have to? Can we just leave them for last?
We have to.
Jesus Christ.
If you want to leave it a little bit last, I can agree with that a little bit.
You know why he's doing it? He wants to stick the knife in a little deeper and deeper and deeper. That's what he wants to do. It's all right.
This is my time to shine.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And for all the Knicks fans out there, que tenía esperanza, hope, prayer, dreams. We'll get to that in a little bit, sir. But we will discuss first the trades and what went down for sure.
Right.
And a lot of moving pieces. Yeah. Because this involves your Knicks too.
Yeah.
The deadline is Thursday, guys.
Yep.
This is Tuesday night.
And so far, nothing from the New York Knicks.
And not even a tickle in the booty hole.
Nope.
A tickle in the fanny.
Nope.
Whatever you want to call it.
I mean,
I've heard a little rumblings here.
Who wants our players, though? Think about that.
Well, your biggest chip is Julius Randle.
Right. And we just signed him. So who do you think is going to want that contract now?
Well, his contract is not that bad.
It's not that bad. It's movable.
Bad. And it starts really next year. But the entire extension.
Right. But he hasn't helped himself at all with his performance.
No. He needs to go to a team. I'll tell you about Julius Randle. We already know what he is. We're not going to go back and go break down his game. And he doesn't go right.
Right.
Stephen A has killed him on that, and we'll talk about Stephen A about that on the other topic we'll get to soon. Stephen A has killed him on that. He has a certain skill set, but he cannot be the man in one basketball team. He needs to be the second guy or even the third guy.
The complementary piece.
To help clean up the stuff, the pieces.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
A team right now that can use Julius Randle is a contending team where he can just blend in, be the second guy, no problem. Where you're gonna gotta throw your ego around the table.
Right.
You don't gotta worry about I'm the highest paid guy, so everybody's gotta listen to me. Blah blah blah.
Score your 15 to 20.
Score your 50-20 to help the superstar of that team. And I think if the Knicks can find a team that can use his services and then get back a couple of nice pieces to help them out, try to get a point guard. Like at this point, just call Sacramento. They just got rid of Halliburton, whatever his name is.
Right.
They're already giving up on him. And you got DeAndre Fox out there. Call him up.
Yeah.
You just added Sabonis. Now, Sabonis is part of the other trade now from Indiana, now to Sacramento. Right. And the kid's name is Halliburton to Indy, Sabonis to the Kings.
Right.
So that's locked, signed, and delivered. Now, the Blazers jumped into this now, which is a bad sign for Portland because CJ McCollum now goes over to the Pelicans. And I don't know what the Pelicans give him there. We're still waiting on details on that. Couple draft picks and so forth and so forth.
Yeah, they gave up a first rounder too.
Right. So now Portland looks like they're going to blow it up.
Right.
And then what you told me, that Damian Lillard basically asked LeBron, get me out of here.
Get me out of here. Make the move.
Make the move. Get me over there.
Yep.
Here we go.
Yep.
General manager LeBron James.
Yep.
Again.
So there's a lot of moving pieces there, and you got somebody like a Damian Lillard who now has nobody on that team. No disrespect to the other players.
There's
but
nothing.
In reality, there's nothing else
There's
there.
no superstar. They got nice pieces, but he needs a superstar help.
Yeah.
One big guy to go with him. Yeah. God forbid I say two. Because that's almost impossible nowadays what the Brooklyn Nets were able to fucking pull off.
But the way that is, fucking the Knicks are not going to make that move for Damian Lillard. That's not going to happen.
A lot of stuff. LeVert went now to Cleveland. He's happy over there.
Yep.
He basically said, I'm glad I'm going to make a championship run.
Yeah.
Championship run because the East is wide open.
Yeah, and it's a young team.
Wide open.
Very young team.
So
making it happen too.
I want to talk about the good first before we get down to you guys. And that means, of course, my Chicago Bulls.
Here we go.
Like Ray Clay used to say one time in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Chicago Bulls.
Right.
My guys. Mm-hmm. The surprise of the East. To make it to the top of the mountain and hang it on. We were there for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Until the stupid Miami Heat, for some odd reason, a guy got hurt and COVID, and everyone's going to use excuses, and I get it. Don't use excuses, Jesus. But it is what it is. You lose 3/5 of your starting rotation and another 3 guys on the bench who are defensive guys. That's going to hurt. Yeah, absolutely. And it's the reason why we're 0-7 against teams in the top 5 in the NBA.
Yep. And the Nets are feeling it right now.
And now the Nets are devastated with injury and COVID with the stuff with Kyrie Irving.
Yep.
Again, the Nets are in a different category because once they get their 3 Voltron guys back together, the word on the street supposedly now the Harden might go to Philly.
Yeah,
they're trying to pair him up with Embiid because the general manager, I forget his damn name, was the general manager in Houston that loves James Harden, and James Harden loves him.
Right.
So now I'm starting to put the connections together.
Yeah, so they're trying to get rid of Simmons too.
So they want to package Simmons, and what I'm heard in the grapevine is that they'll take Simmons, but you got to give me Seth Curry. So they need shooters. The Nets. Besides Patty Mills, and it looks like Joe Harris is not going to make it out of this ankle injury.
Right.
So if you can get yourself Seth Curry, that is very good because he's a good shooter.
He's a decent shooter.
Good shooter. Yeah. You want that guy on the wing because, the big 3 will take care of everything else. So that will just only increase their bench, which is good. Yeah. But if that going to happen, I don't know. I don't think so because
hopefully it doesn't.
Hopefully it does. Well, they lose Harden, so now now it's back to Kyrie and Durant, and maybe that'll put more pressure on Kyrie. Get out there and go help out your boy.
Right. But the 7-foot KD has to stay healthy too.
Yes, he's going to take all the rest he needs.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, they don't even care. It looks like they don't even care where they land on the playoff bracket. It just doesn't matter whether it's on the road or not. And I give them credit for that because those guys, when they're all together, they're going to be unstoppable.
I mean, maybe that's what they want. Think about it.
Yeah. And the whole thing with Kyrie playing on the road. Now, there is a caveat. According to today's reports, New York City and the new mayor.
Right.
And the attorney general and so forth, all the diplomats over there in New York.
Right.
Are talking about lifting the mandatory vaccination.
Wow.
In the city.
So that'll put him eligible to play?
That'll put him eligible to play home games.
Yep.
End of story. End of the bullshit. And that's probably the best thing that can happen to Kyrie and the Nets. And enough of this garbage.
Yep. And then that means for me,
emotional damage.
That's what that means for me.
They'll be up. They'll be rolling. Roll your boat. Gently down the stream.
My Knicks in the garbage. I've literally thrown the flag in when it comes to the NBA this year. So
yeah, we'll get to that.
It was fun last year.
Yes, and I'll tell you right now. Okay, now I'll run you the top. I'm not going to go all the way down to the teams Brooklyn right now is in the 7th seed. So let's start off the top. Miami, by the grace of God. I'll give Spoelstra a little bit of credit with his fucking coaching.
They got a good team.
They're 35-20, but they've been playing a lot of bums lately. The Bulls have been playing the top of the fucking NBA. That's why we slipped up a little bit and no Levine. Fine.
Do we not always say you're supposed to beat the teams you're supposed to beat?
And they do.
Okay.
They just haven't beaten
Don't knock them too much. Don't knock them too much. They're up there. Yeah. They are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. So now we fall down to 3 because Milwaukee won their game, and this is all like percentage points difference. So
Right.
in another week, this can be upside down. So it's Miami, Milwaukee 2, Chicago 3, Cleveland 4, 33-21, same record as the Bulls.
Right.
So they are, they're getting up now. So that's pretty good. Philly, who's made their comeback now official, they're 32-21,
Right.
half game out at the 5th seed. 6 seeds Toronto 29-23.
Right.
And then you got the play-in garbage. 7, 8, 9, and 10, which is Brooklyn, Boston, Charlotte, and Atlanta.
Yep.
So on the Western Conference, we're going to run it real quick because we're not going to get to all that. Phoenix and Golden State, basically the two horses out there.
Right.
Memphis, who's really having a good year. Look, they're 37-18, and they're fucking 7 games out of the 2 top seeds. That's how
bad.
That's how good the
yeah.
Phoenix and Golden State are.
Wow.
Okay? So they're the 3rd seed. Utah's the 4th seed. Dallas is the 5th seed. Denver 6th. Then you got the 7 to 10 is Minnesota, Clippers, Lakers, and New Orleans.
What's Golden State's record?
Golden State is 41-13, and the Phoenix Suns, who are number 1, 43-10.
Wow.
So just to give you a quick landscape of that. Now, for the Bulls, this is what the issue that we have. Like, yes, we were the top seed for a couple weeks. That's nice. But we are still in the mechanism of we are overachieving right now.
Right.
We are overachieving. This team has not played together at all. They're still finding their way. Hence the 0-7 record against top 5 teams. It's not a closeout issue. It's just more of a play together issue. Plus injuries, you kind of mix that in. That's fine. I expected the Bulls to be in the top 4, more in the lather on the bottom.
Right.
Remember, we were out of the playoffs last year.
I could see you as the 4. The 4.
We're going to be, what I suspect, we'll be more 4-5.
Right.
And be careful with us because we'll slap you.
Right.
If you don't pay attention to us, we will slap you. Okay? Now, since they got to the top, now that's giving us more expectation.
Right.
And Bulls fans, we got to take it easy now. You got to take it easy now. Yes, it was nice to be number 1. I admit, I loved it, and it's been phenomenal. And DeMar DeRozan's been playing out of his fucking mind. It's hard to explain. It's a terrific mid-game level game.
Right.
So I think we'll be bouncing back to where we belong and get this team playing where it needs to play. And that's the good part. With Billy Donovan, who's a great coach. I love Billy. He's got us in the right direction. We're overachieving. Make sure you get your guys back. Pat Williams, Kobe White, who's supposed to be now finally, he played yesterday.
Right.
Get these guys back. Get Caruso back and Lonzo Ball back. So our starting point guard, our starting power forward, and Levine has been out, and it's been nuts, but we're hanging in.
And Caruso's off the bench, right?
Caruso's off the bench. Yeah. Caruso and Kobe White run that second unit.
He was probably one of your best acquisitions.
Our better signings. Yep, our better
best
signings.
acquisitions.
He brings attitude. He brings emotion.
And he could ball.
He plays tremendous amount of defense. Just picks up the entire team. Yeah. And Lonzo Ball plays tremendous defense. So when they're together on the floor, watch out defensively. Yeah. So that's the good news about the top of the East. Now let's go to the bad part. And again, we have to circle New York City.
Just why?
Well, let's do the Nets first because, just to spare you a few more minutes.
Right.
We all know what the Nets situation is, okay? They're preparing for the playoffs. Ignore what's going on right now, even though it does not look right that they fucking lost 8 in a row. And Kyrie, now you're going to have a little taste of what it is to be playing by yourself.
Yep. Because
you left Kevin Durant early in the year. That motherfucker's playing almost 40 minutes a game with a bunch of fucking G League guys because everybody else was fucking hurt or with COVID. Then it was James Harden's turn, blew out his hamstring because he's running around trying to do everything. It's just never together.
Right.
The three have, I think, only played like maybe 3 games in the 2 years they've been basically together.
Wow.
Or a year and a half with Harden. And then in the playoffs, when they were together last year, Harden blows his fucking hammy again because he's fat and out of shape. And Kyrie twisted his ankle. There goes Durant by himself again. So now Kyrie's going to get a little bit of the peanut butter and jelly.
Yep.
Now you go play with those scrubs. And Blake Griffin play.
Yep.
You go play with those guys. And
I look, history likes, like we always say, history likes to repeat itself. I don't see the Nets doing what you're saying that they're going to do. Like they don't care what seed they fall, and then once they get into the playoffs, that's when they
just want everybody healthy. Yeah, right. They just want everybody healthy.
I don't see them doing any of that. I see them continuing to slip and fall with the banana peel on the floor and doing Brooklyn Net things, which is just not finish it off.
That's what you want them to do.
No. I don't see it.
Not that you don't see it. Chris.
I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see it.
You really think that Steve Nash and that collection of talent, even without the big three there,
even without the big three,
they're going to keep slipping and sliding and slipping and sliding.
The big three got to go up against the Miamis of the world. They got to go up against your Chicago. They got to go up against your Milwaukee, who are, by the way, the defending champs. And I wish that people would talk about them a little bit more with a little bit more reverence and some respect. Because it's the Milwaukee Bucks. They're still a power team.
Yeah, I know that. Fuck them.
Now you got Philly coming back and finally fixing their situation.
Philly's the dangerous part.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll explain that because this is the matchup problem where.
But I don't see Brooklyn as the clear-cut favorite like the way it was last year when they were supposed to be together and be the powerhouse.
In Vegas, they're still the clean
Of course, because it's Kevin Durant. But if Durant doesn't stay healthy, now you're screwed.
No, they're projecting all three. If all three are there, they are the prohibited favorite. And this is after the Phoenix Suns, big start, and the Golden State, because we don't know what Klay Thompson is still yet. He's still finding his way.
He's on fire right now,
looking good, but he's still got to get his legs under him. But Brooklyn, this is a veteran team ready to go. So, this is where they are. And
I'm just saying that.
I know, I feel you. But if they lift that mandate of the vaccine in New York, and Kyrie now starts to play every game,
right?
Well,
then it's different. Yeah, then it's different.
And James can come back. Kevin will start getting his thing back in another, I think maybe 3 more weeks. They'll get everything back after the All-Star break. I would say about March, they should be fully loaded.
Right.
In March. For sure. Sometime right around.
I mean, we still got a lot till, the end of the season.
Yes.
So,
yes. Right. There's a lot of the regular season left. That's why I'm like, really with the Nets, nobody's making a big deal because they know these guys are going to come back. So they're actually in a decent spot. No panic. Now,
I mean, they're a little panicked after an 8-game slid.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
But they got nobody. Terrible. I mean, there's games that none of the three are on the floor.
Doesn't matter.
You got Patty Mills running around. Even Aldridge went down.
But at the end of the day, you still got competition.
Brown,
on paper, you should be beating them.
No, Chris, not without the big three. No.
Come on.
Even with Chris, their home games. There's no Harden, no Durant, and no Kyrie. Oh, come on, Chris.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's like 80% of your cap. Fucking guy. You're a disgrace.
No big dream.
Well, we're done with the Nets.
No big dream.
We're done. We will tell you what we're going to do.
No big dream.
Now let's go to your boys.
No.
We're going to go to your boys.
No, I don't want to talk about the Knicks, man. Because they do is give me
emotional damage.
Yep.
I don't want to do it.
Yep. Well, you have to face the music, pal. And that's just the way it is. Those are the facts of life in any sport. Okay? Number 1. I told you guys, from you, Janet Rossi, my brother, my older brother, all the Knicks fans out there, I told you guys that last year was an aberration.
So now you're Nostradamus.
You damn right.
Now you got your little crystal ball. You can tell the future now.
You guys got a little lucky run. I get it.
I don't want to hear it.
He felt good. And now you can really tell. Because Julius Randle, who seems to be the main cog in all of this, it is now out in the open that he hates New York City. He hates the fan base.
I wouldn't say he hates New York City.
You got to throw everything in New York.
No.
That's the media.
No.
The fans.
He doesn't hate New York City.
Stinky subways with the fat rats.
No.
Nowhere to park.
So you're taking stuff out of context.
Nowhere to live.
That's just Mr. Harden. That's Mr. Harden.
Harden too.
Harden hates Brooklyn. Barely.
Put him in there. That's not what we're talking about. You had your chance to talk about Harden.
Don't mix the two stories.
He hates everything about New York City, Chris. Yes, he does.
You're a fabricator.
Yes, he did. No,
you're a liar. And you're a cheat.
He's tired of the Madison Square Garden that smells like a dumpster in the back where they throw all the garbage. He's sick of it. And everybody cheered him, whether it was on the TV or the empty MSG, which they played all year. So this is the difference. He's out there balling crazy. Toma, layup, this is that, 3-pointer, woo! And all your little fake noise from the thing, and then your stupid piano. Fine. Okay? But no fans heckling. You finally get the fan. You gracefully got to the 4th seed, which was by the grace of God. I don't know how you got that because Atlanta took their foot off the pedal at the end there. Those are just the facts.
Well,
but I'll give it to you.
All right, but let's.
I remember you celebrating
look
with your
where
little
Atlanta
jersey.
is right now. Look where Atlanta is right now.
They'll get back.
Look where Atlanta is right now.
They're the
Same
AC.
fucking team.
They're the AC.
Same fucking team, and they're a disgrace
They're finding their way.
They're finding
their way.
They're just as bad.
They're finding
I
their
don't want
way.
to hear it.
They're finding their way.
They're better than we are right now,
well,
but they're still at the bottom of the barrel.
Now, you get all the fans out, and you
Start your
finally
shit.
make. Hold
I'll
on,
punch you right in the face in front of this goddamn camera. Don't you fucking do it.
Emotional damage.
Sorry, man. I'm here trying to fix you, pal.
Right, you're fixing.
I'm trying
me,
to
right.
fix you.
Fixing me by stabbing me in the back
All right?
and the front.
We got it. I got to twist it first, and then I'll pull it out for you. All right.
Yeah.
Now, you get into the playoffs. Here come all the fans, pumping and screaming and yelling,
throwing the F Brooklyns.
Yeah, F Brooklyn. They're not even facing the Brooklyn Nets. You freaking idiots. It's unbelievable. And then chanting to Randall, MVP, MVP. You remember?
Well, rightfully so.
MVP.
He was playing well.
He loved it.
Up until the playoffs.
He was like the gladiator in the Coliseum. Just, damn, man, more, man. Woo! He loved it.
Yeah.
Stroking his ego.
Everyone would.
Stroking his ego.
Yes.
Jalándolo para el lado.
Yeah.
Qué lindo, eh?
Yep.
Para el lado. Qué rico, eh? You know what I mean? You know damn well. Everybody in the camera, you know damn well what I mean. Stroking his ego. How dare you? How dare you?
All right.
Ahí tú estás como los masajes tranquilos. Sí, dale toma abajo, dale, que yo soy el rey y el papo lupote de esta vaina.
All right, get to your point. Land your plane.
Yeah,
all right?
I'll land the plane right now. I'll nosedive this bitch. And that piece of shit, loved it. They stroked him and they stroked him. Okay, we give you the extension. We'll give you your money.
Right.
We go back to a full house, new season, COVID under control.
And over expecting fans.
Over expecting fans as usual. Fuck Brooklyn, like they said.
Yep.
Fuck the Nets. We're gonna take them out too. Okay. We'll get to that nutty shit. And guess what? Here comes Randall, the same thing. And I told you guys, I think Atlanta exposed the Knicks in that playoffs. They found the blueprint in how to stop the New York Knicks and Julius Randle.
Yep.
And that's all it takes. One film study. The rest of the league caught
Catches
on.
up. Yeah, absolutely.
You play, what do you play? Copycat?
Yep.
Oh, that's how you stop that motherfucker. Okay, because the other guys can't really do shit.
Well, that's because of the
shooters.
The Knicks scheme.
Yeah, no shooters, no point guard.
Yep. Everybody's hanging out at the perimeter. Nobody wants to play, nobody wants to rebound the ball. The Knicks get out-rebounded pretty much in every game because everyone's sitting around the perimeter. And now I'm starting to see a little bit more flashes out of R.J. Barrett taking over the game, adding more,
he's growing.
Playing the more minutes and adding more minutes.
The poor guy's 21.
Yeah, absolutely. But, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see him take that next step. But unfortunately, it comes at the expense of Julius Randle playing like crap. Yep. If Julius Randle would give me half the effort, half the effort that you did last year with what R.J. Barrett is giving this year, we would not be in the position that we are right now.
Right.
Because every time Julius Randle's giving us a good game and R.J. Barrett is giving a good game, 9 out of 10 times we're winning that game. With the exception of this last Laker loss that we lost a few days ago.
And you blew a 17-point lead.
Yes.
So.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, we have to.
Just keep piling it on.
We are twisting and twisting.
Just keep going.
Emotional damage.
Twisting and twisting.
Just keep going,
friend.
bro.
This is what it's all about here in this podcast.
Right.
In this country.
Yep.
That's what we do.
In Mama's garden. Right?
In Mama's garden. I will not let you off the hook. It's not going to happen.
Isn't there something else we could talk about?
Nope. Because we're not done. Because right now, you're in the bottom of the pits.
I'm gonna mute you.
No, don't mute me. No, hold on. I want to get back to relevancy in basketball.
Right.
I don't understand why Tibbs now, you out of it. And I get it.
Play your young guys.
Play the fucking young guys. Get the Grimes kid out of there. You know,
McBride,
Grimes.
Give Opie the time.
Opie Dopey. Get Opie Dopey in there with his little hunchback running around. But he think he could fly around.
Get Cam Reddish in there. You traded for him for a reason. You got rid of Knox.
Yeah, but let me tell you something about Cam Reddish. Thibodeau.
I don't want to hear it.
Tom Thibodeau did not sign off on that deal.
Well, that's too fucking bad because
That
you
was your
weren't
boy
playing.
Leon Rose.
That's fine. Well, that's
The
not
other
your call.
Rosita.
That's not your call. You got a player.
And now
You got rid of a player
I understand.
that in your eyes
Right.
stunk it up. And
Gotcha.
every Knick fan will tell you that Kevin Knox was a bum.
totally agree.
Okay? Now,
Totally
you
agree.
replace him with a Cam Reddish who used to be RJ Barrett's teammate back in Duke.
No doubt.
So the logic should be, let me see if I can get these two guys together. Let me see if I can rejuvenate this kid's career, get him in here, and try to spark something. Granted, he was hurt. He had an ankle injury, all that
A
shit.
little ankle injury, yep.
You know, I get that. But if he's 100%, give the kid some minutes.
No. Tom Thibodeau went to Leon Rose.
And tell him to go.
Este y un cohete. Este y un cohete. Because he said, I'm fucking Tom Thibodeau.
Well, he's going to get his ass fired.
I was not brought in here for a rebuild.
He is going to get himself fired.
Yes. He wants to squeeze every inch, every ounce of you guys.
Because if you ask me, Cam Reddish is not part of a rebuild. Okay?
Totally understand. But again, he's Cam Reddish is the same as all the other guys you got there, small forwards and two guards.
Yeah. But you're not going to know what he can give you as far as potential if you're not playing him.
I totally agree. There is now some dysfunction from the head coach.
He's going to get himself
up to the
fired.
general manager.
He's going to get himself
He might just
fired.
resign and say, hey, I'm out. Because if you can't get me any players, if you can't get me Damian Lillard, if you can't get me somebody of some ilk.
But the problem
of
is,
talent.
but you got to understand, the players don't want to probably play for him. Because if
We don't know that yet.
Thibodeau would change his philosophy up and play more players instead of the same sad ass rotation every single game, then maybe people will say, you know what, yo, Tibbs is doing something real special over there in New York. But no, Thibodeau is so predictive. He is so damn predictive.
I understand that.
Every single time you look at the roster spot for that entire game, the box score.
Right.
Did not play coach's decision. Did not play coach's decision.
Yeah.
You got Grimes, you got McBride. Sometimes Obi's sitting there with no minutes. You got freaking Cam Reddish with no minutes.
He wants to win games, Chris.
Come on, I understand that, but you're not winning. You're not winning. You got to change it up. You got to change your strategy up.
He is making a point. I want to play the guys that you brought me. And right now, Chris, I don't even think it's a Tom Thibodeau issue. It is a Leon Rose issue. And Leon Rose fucked up the Evan Fournier croissant-eating motherfucker. That was a terrible signing now. Everybody knows it. The Kemba Walker.
The Kemba Walker one,
Awful.
I'll say more is
Awful.
more awful. Because number one.
And now you got money tied up to these fools.
Yep. That's the problem. I
In all due respect.
with Fournier, I could defend that a little bit better.
I would try to package him with Randall.
Absolutely, to just get him out the building.
Just get him out the building.
Yeah.
He can help a team that's ready to win. You package that to somewhere with Randall, then match the money, get some of that on some players with some talent, and you start over again. And then you try in the offseason to get a trade to try to get yourself a huge superstar. And round and round, and round we go again.
That's gonna be hard with a Thibodeau who's hard headed.
You just got to give him the talent, Chris.
I doubt it. But look at his track record, man.
He doesn't play.
When he was in Chicago, when he was in Chicago, he ran Rose to the ground. He goes to Minnesota, does the same shit.
Butler too.
Runs Butler to the ground, runs Rose to the ground again, leaves them.
Josh Gibson, and he's got a bunch of apologists in the Knicks now with Gibson.
Yeah.
They basically say, listen, just give him his outright release.
Nah, man,
and Rose is going to come back soon and see how that's going to look. If I was Rose, I'd be like, listen, why bother even come back? Let's just start fresh next year. Try to get yourself some guys, some superstar talent to go along. Now you need two now.
Yeah.
Because now Randall's gone, basically.
Randall's gone.
And the time is just ticking. The time is just ticking.
It's such a waste. Man.
It's
this is such a
it's
waste,
a terrible.
man.
It's just a terrible thing.
Nick fans got on this high.
Yep.
And they haven't they haven't gotten down yet. Now they're sitting there.
Now they're sitting there with their peepees in their hands and you brought it to yourselves, guys. I saw all the videos on YouTube. I saw you outside of Madison Square Garden.
You taking receipts down, right?
Yeah, I got a lot of receipts.
Of course,
I got a lot of receipts.
Because you hate the Knicks so much, you got to watch the stuff.
Yeah, I watch
all
it.
outside
MSG.
How about you watch? How about you watch your Bulls? How about you watch your Bulls?
I do watch the Bulls
And your rivalries.
I do watch
How about you watch your Bulls and your rivalries?
I don't like Milwaukee and kiss my ass.
Yeah,
And Cleveland can suck my ass too.
Yep.
I don't give a damn.
So watch all
and
of
they're
them.
good.
No, you want to sit there and watch the Knicks.
I'm gonna watch the Knicks
because you were jealous. You were jealous.
I was not jealous.
Yes, you are. You were jealous last year.
No.
You just don't want to admit it.
You guys,
you were jealous last year.
Jumped the gun.
No. We had every right.
Stuck it all the way in there with your enthusiasm.
We had every right to feel that way, all right? Because we've been starved.
Starving. You
and
got
instead of
puppies with a little
that's
bone.
Fine. That's fine. That's okay. So the fan base was starved for any type of success, and you try to steal that away. Shame on you.
No,
shame on you.
I want
you try to steal that away from me.
That's where I want you.
No, you wanted to steal that away. You were hating on the fact that my Knicks were the number 4 seed. You couldn't fathom the fact that they were the 4 seed. That Julius Randle was playing lights out. That the entire team was functioning.
It was a COVID year, guys.
No, I don't care about COVID. I don't care about COVID.
It was like the bubble year when the stupid Lakers won.
So what?
Blasphemous.
The point is, we played well. We were the 4 seed. We got blasted out of the playoffs. We got blasted out of the playoffs by Atlanta.
Look, you overachieved that
year.
That's what happened. That's all that happened.
But you can't blame us for the next year to be like, yo, can you imagine what next year is going to look like? Especially with the draft and, the young players we get. We picked up Grimes and McBride. We thought we were going to do something.
You just
we got the Grinch that stole basketball over here in Thibodeau who doesn't play anybody young.
I'm going to admit it now. The only time I'm going to get nervous about the Knicks is when they actually pull the trigger to get 2 superstars. If they do what the Nets did, or they can get 2 players that actually agree to go to New York, and they say, we're going to go to the Knicks, we're going to team up, that's when I'll hit the clock like this.
Mm-hmm.
Beep. Mm-hmm. And now I have to worry.
But here's the thing. If you look around the league when it comes to competition, right? The NBA is not what it used to be back in the day. You got all these players now who are best friends. Yeah, they all go to each other's parties and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But wouldn't it be great to have 2 superstars hate the Brooklyn Nets, right? Or come over here, not just hating the Brooklyn Nets, but wanting to compete against Brooklyn and what Kyrie Irving and KD have or whatever.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't it be great for ratings' sake?
Well, regionally, yes.
No,
but
it'll be national. It would be national. Why? Because it's the New York Knicks. And whether you like to admit it or not, we are. Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's why we've been on TV so much. Is because
and for the wrong reasons.
Shut up.
For the absolute wrong
reasons.
Shut
up. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Done. Stop putting them on TNT.
They like seeing us, all right?
Need a break.
They like seeing us. We have a young star in RJ Barrett, and he could take us to the next level.
This is another one. Looks like.
But if they can get 2 superstars, 2 legitimate superstars, to come here to compete and make it a war between Brooklyn and Manhattan.
Okay, I got you.
That is going to be must-see TV. Forget about the rest of the NBA. Nobody cares about the rest of the NBA. It's going to be Knicks, Nets, and I implore any 2 superstars to please think about that.
Yeah, well,
think about that. Just say to yourself, let's do it.
Okay.
Because the first team to a championship becomes the king of New York. Mm-hmm. The first team to a championship becomes the king of New York. Think about that. Think about those stipulations.
Okay. I'm going to throw cold water.
No, because they're not winning it this year. No. They're not winning it this year. No, well, they're not.
You want the 2 superstars. Like I said, if you get the 2 superstars in there, okay, I will get too wordy.
Fuck you, man.
But guess what? When Julius Randle gets shown the door, Mr. Right? But in reality, it means this. Mm-hmm. Right? He did this, but he got behind the mic and said this. Mm-hmm. Out there. You guys. You in the camera. you over here.
He didn't say that to me.
No, yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. You're
No, he
part of
didn't.
it.
No, he
You're
didn't.
part of it.
No, I'm not.
You're part
No,
of it.
I'm not, 'cause I didn't
you
boom. I
and
didn't boom.
Janet Rossi, that
I didn't boom.
whore, you're all of it.
Janet Rossi,
Ja-
yes.
Yeah, Janet
I
Rossi
never booed
for
him.
sure.
I never
And you
booed
know
him.
who you are, Janet. You went like that. Nigga like this, and then he went like that. Right?
Could you stop giving the fans the finger?
As he gets walking out the door. No, because I want to make it very clear.
Tell him, man.
Very
Write
clear.
it in the comments,
in there.
man. You got
Yeah.
Emotional damage.
keeps giving you the finger,
Yeah.
man. Put a thumbs down on this video.
Like that. That was Julius Randle. Right?
I still defend him.
So
for
now
that.
we're gonna shape him out of here, ship him out of here.
Yep.
And you know what he's gonna do on the way out? He's gonna say the New York Knicks and the organization and New York City can go kiss my ass because that's the worst place to go to. And he's gonna go to every impending free agent, every general manager he get his hand on, every sports agent he's gonna get his hands on, and said, "Don't you dare pull out a trade to go to New York."
You're so sure about that.
And that is
You
going to
are
be
so sure.
a
You're
smear.
so. You're
That's going to be
so,
a smear
Yeah,
campaign.
That's fine. Let it be a smear campaign because there's going to be somebody.
Como una pasta.
There's going to be somebody else that's going to be. You know
Yeah.
what? I can do it.
Oh yeah, they can do it.
Because you
Yeah.
know what, Julius?
Just like he did.
Because you know what, Julius?
I can do it.
You're a little too
Yeah,
emotional.
yeah,
for me.
yeah. And then when they ran him in his
Yep.
cram hole,
You're a little too
he
emotional
went
for
back
me.
to his pillow
Yep.
and squealed
Yep.
like a little girl.
Yep. You're another
And that's what
KD.
happened.
You're another
He's
KD.
broken.
Overly emotional.
He's broken.
This
And-
millennial.
and no,
overly emotional player.
Not only
That's what it
emotional.
is.
What happened is the New York media and the New York fans ate him alive.
They're terrible. I'll admit.
That's it.
The New York media is the
That's
worst.
it.
They're probably the
you
worst
have to
in
accept
all
it.
in all of America. I would probably say the New York media is the worst.
So the New York fans out there who say go fuck Brooklyn and fuck everybody, congratulations. You just chased your best player out of here. And any chance to team it up with him with anything else. Now you have to start all over again. And I want you guys to go in the comments below and start typing me up scenarios to try to fix this. I want you to tell me how you think is going to fix this. Because we're not there yet.
I'm out of ideas.
Middle of the season.
I'm out of
But you
ideas.
might, okay. Something might come up.
I don't know how to
You
fix this.
guys get on the horn, get on the fucking thing. I want ideas. And how to fix this. Okay? Because this is an absolute sham. Enough.
What's an absolute sham is our next topic.
Yeah. All right, we're going to finish out the night, guys, with there's been some radio beef.
Beef.
WFAN.
Beef and broccoli, that's what it was.
Yeah, in WFAN, the new show that came up at 10 o'clock. Chris, I'll give you a minute to find the audio.
Yep.
It's Brandon Tierney
And
Tiki Barber. This is a new midday show at 10 o'clock. For everybody who lives in New York City, outside New York City, the tri-state area.
Yep.
And this involves everything that's happened with the Giants.
The Brian Flores situation.
Flores situation. It's all ties up. It's all one knot.
Right.
And, Tiki, which we can't get to all the, basically, I'm not going to say literally, but all the, what's the word I want to use? Incriminating comments he has said in the past about the Giants.
Right.
And not necessarily about the Giants, but the coaching staff and Eli Manning, Michael Strahan. Like, Tiki Barber has a list of shit
Yeah.
that a lot of the media and guys like Stephen A know about.
He's got dirty laundry.
He has dirty laundry everywhere.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Now, to Stephen A's defense, so the beef is now between Tiki Barber and Stephen A. Smith. But Tiki started it because they were in a call.
Yeah.
A caller called
A
in
caller
and
came in
called out Tiki.
Calling out Tiki
Come
for,
on,
for
Tiki.
defending
For
the Giants.
The Giants. And that he said that they're not a racist organization. That's not what I believe. I love the Maras, the Wellington Mara, who was the old owner, the father of John Mara.
Right.
And basically went to his deathbed because he was invited because that's how close he is with the Maras. I totally get it, Tiki. I get it.
Right.
But you can't use that as a blindfold
Right.
on the reality of the situation.
Right.
So he defended, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Who do you think I am? You think I'm some sort of Stephen A. Smith that's just going to say things off the cuff and he doesn't even know nobody in the Giants organization?
Right.
That's what started him.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep. He called out Mr.
You called
Mr.
out
Millionaire.
Stephen A. Smith, and you know how Stephen A.'s ears are like antennas
Yeah, you know he
when
heard
it comes to New York radio.
You know he heard it. He sits
Okay?
there.
We're going to play you a little clip of the back and forth exchange and the conversation with the fan that called in the Brandon Tierney show that day. And this
So Tiki was hot.
Tiki,
right?
Tiki was hot. He was bothered. He was emotional. His eyes got watery.
Right. Right, because the fan was calling him out and letting him know that, basically telling Tiki,
stop defending him.
Stop being blind.
Stop being blind.
Stop being blind and face the reality of what the Giant organization
and you're no angel.
Is and has been for years. Okay? Yeah. Just to get it out there, and Stephen A. already said it, that the Giant organization is one of, I believe, 8 teams that has never had a black head coach or B, a black quarterback. Right. Now, a lot of you Giant fans are going to say, well, we just had Geno Smith. I'm talking about a quarterback. Yeah, Geno Smith was a bum.
Now he officially makes the the chart. In other words, he checks off that box because it's Geno Smith.
Right.
But we know what it means. Somebody that leads the organization.
Right. And the other thing is what a lot of Giant fans that I'm reading and a lot of, the things that say, well, we had Jerry Reese for 10 years and he was black.
General manager.
We're not talking general managers. We're talking coaches.
The general managers are not faces of the franchise.
Let's keep it to the topic at hand. We're talking coaches. The Giants have never had a black head coach or a minority head coach, because we'll go there.
Yeah, put a minority back.
They've never had that or a minority quarterback. So that was the crux of the conversation, which was the caller and Tiki Barber trying to defend the Giants of how he thinks that they are not a racist organization, which may very well be true. However, the optics do not look like that's what it looks like.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to play this clip right now of Tiki defending the Giants.
Yes.
The fact that the Maras, and I always said this with the Tishes as well, they embraced me like I was family. You know what I mean? And so I know them intimately. So when I say I don't believe they're racist, it's because I know they're not.
This is Tiki Barber, ex-New York Giants running back.
Tiki, you don't know who the hell I know. I've been a journalist for almost 30 years. I know a few people within the Giants organization.
And ESPN's Stephen A. Smith.
Your experience is not my experience, but I can't sit here with conviction like Stephen A., who doesn't know anybody in the Giants organization and claim that they're a racist organization. That's just I would never do that. Only reason I would do that is because I'm trying to make a point.
Tiki took shots at Stephen A.
I know a lot of stuff about you, my brother, that I would never say because I'd have the decency not to say those things. Chill out. Watch yourself.
So Smith fired back.
Now, to say that every organization and the league itself is systemically racist because minorities aren't getting head coaching jobs and Brian Flores had a bad experience because of what Bill Belichick did. If Bill Belichick had never sent that text message and he comes into that interview with the New York Giants on Thursday and it goes well or not or whatever, and he doesn't get the head coaching job, is he still suing the league?
A lot to unpack here, so let's begin.
That's it.
Barber.
Wow. Well, I'll start with the last thing he said. Tiki, you throwing in hypotheticals about whether or not if Belichick would have never sent that text, would he be suing the league?
Stop it.
That's irrelevant.
That's irrelevant, bro.
That is probably the most stupidest argument you could have made.
It happened.
Because it happened. There's nothing you could do about it. Whether or not he sent the text or didn't mean to send the text, it happened. Okay? There's nothing you could do about it. There was a cause and there was a reaction.
That's right.
Okay? So if Bill Belichick would be not alive right now, does the text go out? That's how stupid you sound.
Yeah.
What okay?
What if they send it in a pigeon?
Come on.
A message in a bottle.
What are we doing here? The problem is you can't see. What's the saying? You can't see the forest from the trees?
Yes, the trees from the forest.
The trees from the forest. That's the problem. Because you have an affinity for the Giants, rightfully so. Like you said, they treated you like kings and queens.
Ownership, the ownership
treated
the
you
Maras.
well. I get that. But you can't go to Brian Flores now and say, well, however you're feeling or your perception is wrong because they didn't do that to me.
Right.
You're one African American compared to the thousands that are in the league.
Yeah.
So I don't get what you were trying to say. You're defending the Giants. I get that. But you also got to think about that one thing is like, man,
Yeah, you have to.
it is true.
You got to keep an open mind on that.
They haven't had a black head coach, man. What is that all about?
You got to use your ears. Use your ears. Listen to people. Listen to Flores. And just lay low.
And again, it could rightfully be that the Giants are not a racist organization, and that's not what we're saying.
Of course.
It's the optics behind it. You're one of 8 teams that's never had a black head coach.
Yes.
That is a problem. The Rooney Rule was put in place back in 2003 to fix this problem.
Yeah. He needs to understand that. What he should have said was, hey, man, you know what? I totally understand him. Maybe the Giants should have got him a little bit ahead of the week to interview him, to get that process out of the way. And if you were so high on him, then you know what? God damn it, John Maverick, you should have interviewed him right away without the GM.
Exactly.
Without the GM.
If that was your guy, if you called him the minute he got fired, oh man, I want you to interview for this job, man. We'd really love to have you. You're a New York native. We appreciate how you do things, how you turn that franchise down there in Miami around. We would love to have your passion here with our Giant organization, especially since we got rid of that bum Joe Judge. Yeah. If that was Mara's conversation to Flores, then Flores should have been the first one fucking interview.
Yeah, right out the bat.
Come on, man.
And then you relay that information to your new general manager, and then you do the second interview with the new general manager. That's how you do it. You could have done a Zoom call. You could just anything to get to wet his beak.
And I understand you got a new GM. The GM is going to want to bring his guy in.
Yeah, but
totally understand that argument.
But he still has to oblige to the owner.
Absolutely, and you still got to fulfill your obligations to that Rooney Rule, and you have to do it. Come on, man. Do it with some conviction, man. Do it with the sense that, you know what? I understand I got a guy that I want to bring in, but let me hear Flores out. Or let me hear the rest of the candidates out.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the other thing. Oh, we interviewed the DC for the coaching job. We interviewed Leslie Frazier.
And he went over to the other
absolutely.
Team. Where'd he go? Somebody picked his ass up.
What people are not understanding is, he got picked up by somebody. He ran out of there.
He's like I'm out.
Bat out of hell.
I don't need this shit.
What people are not understanding is that as a minority, you don't want to feel or be viewed as a token hire. You don't want to be viewed that way. You want to make sure that you got the right credentials, that you were picked for the right reasons. And you want to feel confident about that.
And not even a token hire, just the interview process. Yeah. That's really what we're focused on.
Exactly.
We're not forcing you to fucking hire him.
No, absolutely
just
not.
Give him the opportunity to get in there. Yeah. Okay? So this whole mess is just a timing issue by the Giants that they ruined it. That's all.
Absolutely. Because take Brian Flores out of the equation right now, right? If you take Brian Flores out, right? Why on earth did you wait for Dable to get out of the playoffs in order for you to interview him? Why did it take so long for you to pick up your GM?
They could have left him for last.
When you knew that your old guy, Mr. Gettleman, was retired, which in fact what you did was fire him, but you gave him walking papers anyway. Why did it take you so long to get a new GM? And why did it take that long to get Dable to actually start interviewing? You should have been interviewing way before then, especially if you have a litany of people that you were going to interview. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Your timeline is terrible.
The timeline is terrible, and the interview process timing is terrible. That's where the issue is. By the time Flores got there, they basically had their guy already named. I don't want to hear about the 11th hour. That 11th hour could have been Monday morning. And Flores' interview was Thursday.
Yeah.
And that's what the Bill Belichick tweet came out, or the text to him.
Yep.
And everything hit the fan.
And then now you got Tiki Barber here. Talking.
Tiki's in hot water, man.
Talking like, defending the Giants. And now the Giant fans, a good portion of them, I'm not going to say the majority of them, a good portion are seeing what the Giants right now, what the optics look like. Mm-hmm. And that caller had every right to call him out on that.
I'll give you another thing. Brandon Tierney, who is very good friends with Tiki. They've done the show together at CBS Sports Radio for...
You mean Stephen A?
No, Brandon Tierney.
Oh,
Brandon
okay.
Tierney and Tiki, that's his new partner.
Right.
They basically been tied at the hip for 9 years.
Right.
So he has a certain love and affinity for Tiki.
Right.
But Brandon Tierney also is a huge Stephen A guy. They are very good friends. They worked together over in ESPN Radio in the early 2000s.
Right.
And I used to remember because I used to listen to that show a lot. My driving days in New York City. So poor Brandon gets pressed by Boomer and Gio on their morning show. And basically said, hey, man, what the hell's going on? Are you going to defend your partner? And Brandon kind of like took the back seat and said, listen, man,
Yeah, he skated around.
I understand how Stephen A works, so I'm not going to get on him on that. And I love Tiki, and what Tiki said, that's his opinion. And I'm not, I'm not taking it to the part. In other words, what Stephen A said, watch yourself.
Right.
I know people, you know, so basically check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Right.
So it felt like a threat.
Right.
So I said, what do you think? Is it Brandon Tierney's a backstreet brawler is going to come now and flex his muscles the old Italian way? And, that's not how it works.
Right.
And Tiki, who is not confrontational at all,
Right.
wants no smoke.
You could tell he's not confrontational.
You could just tell. So the other thing I get of this, that Tiki Barber, and Brandon knows a little bit about it, but welcome to New York radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not CBS radio, the national show that you had. Now you are coming into only speaking New York sports, and you're going to get
animals
that are going to be calling, and rightfully, and I'm not calling them animals as in animals as they're stupid. Animals as in they know what they're talking about.
Yep.
They are smart
Passionate.
fans. They are passionate.
Yep.
They know what they're talking about, and they're going to call you out on your bullshit.
Yep.
So, Tiki, you better start writing your notes down, Papa, and make sure that you got your ducks in a row.
Yep.
Because they will smell you. They will smell the blood in the water.
Yep.
And enough of this little facade that you got here, because it looks like every time I see him on the broadcast, he's smiling.
Yeah.
He's just, he's chilling. He's all fucking bougie with his little thing. Papa, get ready, because this can get ugly real quick.
Yep.
And that exchange you had with that fan, that'll give you a taste, because he looked exasperated.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because he couldn't even get a word in. The guy's like, come on, Tiki, come on, Tiki. Wait a minute. You could tell.
Yeah, he kept talking over him too.
Right, this is New York radio. This is what this is. This is what WFAN is. This is ESPN radio also.
And kudos to the producer who put the caller through.
Yeah.
Because that's good radio.
So get ready,
That's
Tiki.
good radio.
And Brandon Tierney don't even have a month in this new time slot.
And they're already the talk of the town.
Already talking of the town. They have beef with Sal Licata, the overnight guy. And that was a whole thing. There's always drama in WFAN.
Yeah. Yeah.
They always got little things. They all nicky-nacking each other. They fucking talk shit to each other. I mean, that's in any business, right? I guess in any company that you go work.
Yep.
So, listen.
So Tiki's just got to be careful, because number one, the Giant fan respects you to a degree, but there's a lot of Giant fans that can't stand you.
Yeah, they resent him
They resent you a lot. And you're going to get those callers calling in. I'm pretty sure that one caller that called you in was probably one of them.
And listen,
they like I said, they'll revere you for the career that you have for the Giants, everything that you brought to the table, whatever. But that smear campaign that you did at the end, where you walked out and you started,
he bombed the place.
You started blabbing about Mr. Elijah Manning and how he lacked the leadership, and how other players were being selfish. The coaches,
Coughlin
was not a good look on you, and the Giant fan does not forget about that.
Michael Strahan
Michael Strahan,
the top dog,
who's beloved.
Yep,
who's beloved.
We'll find out more of that, because a lot of us know, but it happened so long ago now. It's almost in the back of our memories. We don't remember. Out
of sight, out of mind.
Yes, and now that he's back in the New York ring.
Yep, I'm sure he had those concerns when they told him, "Hey, you're going to go to WFAN and be in New York." They're going to be
they're going to be picking at that little scab, my friend. So
absolutely.
We'll close that out,
and rightfully so, because I think that Tiki has an obligation to answer those questions for the Giant fan.
Right, but his argument is going to be like, "Well, I'm a very opinionated person."
Yeah, because if I was a Giant fan, I'd call up. And that's the first couple of questions I ask him. Why is it that when you walked out, you were talking all that shit? What gives you the right to throw somebody under the table like that?
And it's funny, because right after he left, they won the Super Bowl.
Yep, the year later.
And when he became a broadcaster.
Because he left in 2006, right?
Yeah.
In 2007, they won the title.
Yep. When he became a broadcaster, how ironic that he had an interview with Eli Manning. And Eli Manning threw him a little curveball in that interview on how he became successful, how they won that year, and all the distractions were out the door.
Yep.
Basically look at him like,
Good.
yeah, you.
Yep. It was him and
So good for Eli
him
for
and
it.
Mr. Jeremy Shockey.
Yeah, and
another one that Giant
Shockey
fans
was
adored.
Another one.
Giant fans adored him, Jeremy Shockey.
And
But what was his problem?
He had the same. He was on the Tiki side.
Yeah,
You know,
same
no,
problem.
No leadership.
Yep.
You know, you're getting out coached.
Big mouth.
Big mouth. Selfish players.
Yep.
I mean, you fucking name it.
What game was that? Was that the divisional game or the conference game where Jeremy Shockey, was taunting the San Francisco defense?
Wild card game.
That was a wild card game.
2006, I believe.
Telling these guys, look at the scoreboard. We're whooping you behind.
Yeah.
And you end up losing the game.
And Freddie Garcia comes back
Come
with T.O.
Yep.
And the rest is history. But anyway, we'll close on that. We're going to give ourselves now, what do we got? A couple more minutes. We're going to give you, should we do the Super Bowl picks now, Chris, or you want to wait for another show?
Nah, let's do them now. Let's give a pregame shot. I mean, we did it on our last episode, but, I started looking up at the odds, over in Vegas and stuff, and I think I want to change my score. I think I definitely want to change my score, but it's not going to be that much of a difference. But
I think it's going to be a little bit of a blowout, man. I think the Rams are going to.
The problem is
they can score, man.
Yeah, they can score.
I don't know if these guys can hold them down.
And look, that entire defense, they got their tongue out.
Yeah.
They are.
Because that offensive line stinks from Cincinnati.
And that's what they know. That's the problem. They
Aaron
know.
Donald's licking his fucking
right
chops.
now. See, that's the thing that leads up to the Super Bowl. When you got these 2 weeks off, these guys are watching nothing but tape on all of your mistakes, all of the things that you love to do, all of the things that you think you should have been doing. And they're reading it and talking to their defensive coordinators and talking to their linebacker coach and talking to their line coaches and how can I do this? How can I make this better? 2 weeks of that. And I know all about that because when the 2013 Broncos went up against the Seattle Seahawks and we got fucking thrashed 43-8. That I don't even like to remember that damn score. And we were the greatest scoring offense in NFL history.
Right.
And we went up against the Legion of Boom.
Yep.
And that defense figured us out in like this. Like yesterday, they figured us out. The great Peyton Manning was destroyed. Down after down after down. We couldn't do shit.
Yep.
So now you got a young kid in Joe Burrow. God bless him because he's made it this far.
Good luck.
You got nice pieces in Jamar Chase and the other kid Higgins. You got Joe Mixon behind you. But the problem is that your fortress that's sitting in front of you is a joke.
Yeah, it's a problem, man. It's a problem. Listen, the Rams have the experience. This is their second trip now with McVay.
Look.
You got veterans everywhere. Odell now is in there in the veteran in that room.
Yep.
The secondary now with Waddle, who came back from 1 year to help them out, to get him over the hump. He'll probably get a ring out of this. Good for him.
Yep.
The front four and front seven from the Rams, they're going to be thirsty. They're ready to go, man.
How are they going to contain Cooper Kupp?
I don't know. I don't.
You could try to double team him,
listen,
right? But that's going to open the door to Odell. I'm
going to say, just to throw it out there, I think it's like 35-10, 35-17 at best. 35-17. And it's not. Maybe it stays close in the beginning while they figure each other out, and I just think they just run away with it at the end.
I'm going to say 24-10. I think
only 24 points.
I think
I think they're going to score 30 points at least.
I'll say 24-10. Yep. That's going to be my score. I was a little higher last week.
Yeah, I got over 30, at least 35.
But I
10 to 17 points.
But I think it's going to be more the Rams defense getting the turnovers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Matthew Stafford not having to do much.
I don't know. You think with that offense with Cooper Kupp, you don't think Cooper Kupp's going to have 10 catches
I know,
for like $150?
I'm saying with the turnovers, right? They're going to get a shorter field.
Yeah.
So you're not going to ask Matthew Stafford to do too much.
Well, if it's that kind of a disaster, then
that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be that type of disaster.
Yeah, but 24-10
you got to shut down. You got a shutdown corner in Jalen Ramsey, right? So one half of the field is gone.
The secondary is very good. And then you got
one
Waddle
half
playing
of the
safety.
field. One half of the field is done.
Now, again, if they get lucky, if the Bengals can get, this is why I'm giving them 17 points, because their receiving core is very good. So if they can find a way to do the quick tosses, wide receiving screens, bubbles, you name it, to get them to Jamal Chase, then you got yourself something. But I don't see Cincinnati stopping that offense. I just don't. I just don't. And that offensive line,
The-
Joe
the
Burrow's
only-
going to be running around for his life, just like this guy did last year.
Yeah.
Your boy Mahomes.
Yeah.
So
The only thing I'll give the Bengals, and I said it in the last podcast, is that they're just happy to be there.
I think so
That's
too.
it.
They gained the experience.
They
and
gain that experience.
that group's going to be good for
They
years
know
to
what
come.
it feels like. They're
Yeah.
going to be under that pressure, under those lights.
Yeah.
You know, celebrities galore.
It's a good run. It's a good run by the Bengals.
It's a good run.
Good run, man. Enjoy that.
So with that attitude, they can possibly win this game. Possibly. It's a very short possible. But anything can happen.
Man.
But in my prediction, I don't see the Rams losing this.
No,
I really
no,
don't.
no,
I really don't.
I can't.
And as much as I love the underdog in the Cincinnati Bengals,
Yeah.
I don't see them going.
And we'll be rooting for the Bengals. Trust me. We'll be rooting for the Bengals.
Because exactly. We don't have any dog in this fight.
I don't have a dog in this fight.
if- I mean-
just Joe Burrow's gonna get. Everyone's gonna be sucking him off now. Oh, Joe,
Right.
cool Joe, Joe this, Joe,
Right.
Joe, with fucking mink coats now and all this bullshit. And don't even
Right.
get me started. You know where I'm gonna go.
Right? Yeah.
You know
yeah,
the fucking.
Yeah.
Joe cool, soplando, el hijo de
Yeah.
puta. Porque yo soy el más bueno de todo. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Mr. Joe Cool.
Come on. You know what? I'm gonna
But-
go for Matthew Stafford. You know. Give it Stafford.
Already.
Yeah, don't piss me off. There's only one
my-
Joe, and we know who it is.
God, my God.
My Joe.
But we're gonna look at that, and that's gonna be the
That's all I got.
it better not be a slaughterhouse. That's what I don't want to see.
Well.
Because I want to be excited to watch this. I want the Bengals to put in a good performance and make it a decent looking a Super Bowl. I don't want to see the when the Rams lost against the Patriots. That Super Bowl was the worst Super Bowl I've ever.
13-3, dude.
Oh God, it was god awful.
How did that offense only score 3 points? But we'll say that for another time, man.
Jared Goff and his my
Jared,
God,
just-
that was the worst Super Bowl I've ever seen in my life.
Brutal.
You couldn't even talk about anything like highlights of the game. What was the highlight? Nothing.
Yeah.
There was one pass, and I think it was
Don't even talk about it.
Brady to Gronkowski to get finally into scoring range.
Don't talk about it, Chris. That's enough.
Game was terrible.
I hate that game. Another cheap Super Bowl win for Brady. So
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Get us the fuck out of here, Chris. I'm
Oh my
13-3.
God,
Fuck you, Tom
guys.
Brady.
We're gonna let you go. Thank you so much again for joining, and for being a part of the show again. And again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you follow us on this platform, which is YouTube. We also have, our Instagram, again, the JDC Low Podcast. Again, we got our new shirts. Let us know in the comments if you love the shirts. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me turn around. I got some more for you.
Yeah, yep.
Now, read that. See that? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to be around in our neck of the woods promoting our show, and we hope that you help us get there as well. So, guys, thank you so much again for joining. It's the JDC Low Podcast, and we are out.
Peace.